Welcome to the Fermented Homestead. If we haven't met before, hi, my name is Anna, and today we are making another video for a collaboration called Make It March. Make It March has a video from 7 different creators, and one of us is going to be putting out a video every single day for the month of March, all giving you a ton of ideas of things that you can do with your canned foods. I almost said fermented foods. For today's video, I am making something completely different because despite my peppy and happy demeanor, I feel like crap. And I didn't want to eat what I was planning to make today, so instead, we're gonna make some chicken soup so I can help myself feel better. I do have cans of, what am I saying? I do have cans of canned, how am I going to say this? I do have jars of chicken soup. Ready to make, just dump and pour. That would make a really boring video. And I like to save those sorts of things for my husband because that's pretty much the main reason that I can, is so that he can just make anything that he wants, anytime he wants, and he's got it ready. Homemade food from Wah, his loving wife. You can customize this recipe any way that you want to. Whatever ingredients that you have on hand, whatever ingredients you like, whatever ingredients your family likes, just add it in there. Whatever you like to put in your soup, if you got it ready in a jar, you can make it. I had planned on making chicken noodle soup, but we don't have noodles, and I don't want to eat the noodles, so I'm not going to add noodles. So this is chicken noodle-less soup. If you guys have been watching for a while, you might have seen January last year, where I made some meat tea with chicken feet. And some people were like, oh yeah, I do that too. And other people were like, ugh. But this is the reason that I made it, because this jar right here has a ton of collagen, has a ton of gelatin. I don't know what form it's in, but it's the same thing. It's just in a different form. But we're gonna be using this because I don't have any ready-made chicken broth. Ready-made. One thing that you can do is something that I want a larger batch, so that's why I'm not using this one in particular. But one thing you can do, I make this thing right here called a chicken soup starter. You can make this a couple different ways. The way that I made this one in particular, it was cooked chicken and I just topped it off with chicken broth. You can, however, put raw chicken in here, fill it up and can it, and in the process, it will make the chicken broth. However, you must can this for the meat time. It ain't the broth time. I'm not using that simply because I'm making a larger batch. And also another reason I'm making a larger batch is because this is a lot of carrots to add to a quart. This stuff is pretty old. I canned this stuff back in 2017 and I want to go through it. I'm gonna add in some corn. I'm obviously not gonna use an entire quart of corn, but hubby will be happy. He absolutely loves home canned corn. And same thing on the green beans. This is just the only size jar that I have. So I'm gonna throw in about half of this and then I'll just use the rest of it in something else. And some ugly chicken. These ones I canned, oh gosh, almost 4 years ago. But this is ugly chicken. I just call it Cornish cross chicken because if you ever raised a Cornish cross chicken, it's implied that it's ugly chicken. Anyways, so for this recipe, all we're gonna do is literally just throw this stuff in a pot and get it warmed up. I do not want to cook the corn or the green beans any further than I have to. So, oh, I almost forgot. I don't have any fresh celery, but I do, however, have some dehydrated celery, and I'm gonna throw in the dehydrated celery at the time that I'm heating most of the other stuff up. But I don't wanna cook the green beans or the carrots, especially the carrots, any further. So we're just gonna throw in things in different stages, and our main goal is just to get this thing warmed up. Let's do this. You're gonna have to ignore the camera on the lovely pedestal of flour here. It's just like, and I'm cooking on my lovely burner because the angles on my stove don't work very well. So first thing we're gonna do is listen for the lovely pot, give it a sniff test, pour it in here. I can't remember if I added salt, so we're gonna season this thing. We're gonna season this to taste. And pretty much the only thing I'm trying to not get into my soup is the feet. I like getting all of that stuff. Am I recording here? Yeah. I like getting all of the little bits and everything that are inside of the broth because that's like the minerals and, you know, all the goodness that are in there stays in the bottom. And that's why I don't care about canning a clear broth. I like getting the funky foam off when I'm making the broth, but that's about it. So we got that. Time for some of the chicken. I do not, oh, that's salted. I can see the salt on top. Ooh, let me get some. Right, I'm gonna start out with one and see what the ratios are of the other ingredients. And we'll add the second one if I want it for some celery. So it has time to rehydrate. Make sure I don't get a silica back in there. So I would say that's probably like 2 to 2.5 tablespoons. And corn. Actually, I'm gonna add the corn once it's warmed up. Throw the lid on there and let it heat up. I don't like to heat things at a very high temperature that have gelatin collagen in there because it kind of helps to break it down. So I've just got this, well, this burner is technically on high, but it's a portable burner. High really means medium. So I'll bring it back when we're ready to add the other stuff to it. Everything in the pot is simmering because I only want to use half of the green beans and half of the corn. So I already separated them out, took out most of the liquid from them. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and add the rest of the ingredients here. Spatula. Oh, and dump this liquid out. Green beans. Get the rest of this corn. And these carrots I preserved in better than bouillon, so I'm just gonna use the liquid anyways. So that little stuff at the bottom. All right, now I'm gonna give this a little taste test. I'm the only one consuming this, so double dipping will not matter. Okay, that's really good on its own. Really good. But given that I'm sick, I want to add in some extra stuff that will help me get over said sickness. So we got some sage. I'm gonna start small here. 1/4 teaspoon. And you know, these spices, they just have like, you know, some of them have antiviral, some antibiotic bacterial, you know, and they help to fight inflammation. So all around a good thing. 1/4 teaspoon of thyme. 1/4 teaspoon of oregano. I know how good oregano is for you, but I can't get behind it. I still have it. Literally only for the health benefits. 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric, 1/2 teaspoon of granulated garlic, and 1/2 teaspoon of powdered onion. This is ones that we did. Give this a stir. And I'm basically just letting the heat I'm letting the heat penetrate the carrots and the garlic and the corn, basically just to kind of get it warmed up. All right, let's give this a taste. Ooh. That just gave it like an extra level of flavor. I don't think I'm gonna mind consuming this whole pot over the next couple of days. This is so good. Okay, so that's it. It's done. It is done and ready to go to work and helping my immune system fight this off. I'll be adding a couple extra other things just for my own sake. If you guys are curious about the things that I like to do when I'm feeling sick, I'll link the video at the end, but it won't be available for 2 more days. So if you're watching this in the first 2 days, come back and check it out. But I'm in the middle of making a vlog about, you know, the various things that I like to do when I'm not feeling well. But it's in vlog format. So if you enjoy vlogs, be sure to come back because I do a lot of homestead vlogs. Oh my gosh, that's so good. Okay, if you want to check out my spice selection. Come on, because you might notice, I use canning jars. There's a reason for that. So here is my spice cupboard. And the reason that I organize it like this is ADHD. It is very difficult for me to keep things organized. This way is very easy and it's pretty. All I did was get rid of all of the dopey spice bottles that come with it. Is it zoomed in? No. So I got rid of all of them and I just put them in these mason jars and I wrote a sticker for them all. I don't have a label maker and I'm not gonna let that stop me. I don't worry about each row being alphabetical because it's just whichever ones I use the most of that particular column are the ones that are on top. So I just have everything organized. This is A and this is the end. These are the spices, the heat. We use these the most, as well as onions, garlic, and ginger. So I just keep those there. And then some of the extra, the bulk stays up on top here. I am missing a few of the lesser used ones because I ran out of jars. So when I get more, I will put them in the jars and use them accordingly, but that's about it. And I feel like this has a good ratio of chicken to broth to other ingredients. So I think I'm gonna leave it. I like my soups to be very brothy. So that's what I've made. I'm gonna go ahead, enjoy my bowl of soup, take a goofy thumbnail, and finish up my other video that I'm working on so that I can do all of these various different things to help myself feel better in a very short period of time. It's not a miracle, it's not a cure-all, but it's basically just giving your immune system the things that it needs to be able to fight its own battles. So if you guys are interested in the 2 videos that I referenced in here, be sure to check them out here, and I'll go ahead and leave the other one right here for you. So peace out, sauerkraut.